Welcome to Northern 10 Sharp I channel. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't subscribed, just click the subscribe button and help us reach 20,000 subscribers. It's off season now in South Africa, but Mamelodi Sundowns are the only team in South Africa that are still playing in the FIFA Club World Cup in the USA. We've seen them playing Ulsan HD at Orlando in USA. I nearly said Orlando Stadium, but yeah, it's Orlando Stadium anyway. But yeah, and they've won 1-0. With me, I'm with my friends in football. Gents, welcome. Thank you so much for coming, for joining us as always. My name is Thulan Ngobo, the host of Ngobo 2010 Sharp Eye. I'd like you, gents, to introduce yourself to our viewers at home. Thabo, please introduce yourself to our viewers at home.
Good day, everybody. Good day to the gents. Say long time. Matum, Bradlen, Brahmatlati, and our esteemed host, Mr. 2010 Sharp Eye.
Sure,
Good evening, gentlemen. I hope you are well. Yeah, this is Thabo Soroka from Wilfredon in Rodiport. Thank you for inviting me, gentlemen. Hope we have a good discussion today. Sure.
Thank you so much, Thabo. Welcome. Thank you. Matume, please come in, introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. Niki Matumi Pecha from Mahali City Branch, Mamelodi Sundowns fan. I'm looking forward for this exciting discussion about soccer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Matume. Glenn, please come in.
Good evening once again, everyone. This is Lepe from Bichega's branch on Bichega's. The viewers, we are pleasing with you. Please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Glenn. Brahmatlase, please come in.
Good evening. My name is Mahlatse Mphahlele. I'm a sports journalist with Times Live. You have to say where I'm calling from.
you can even say the shout outs to the Times Live colleagues there. It's okay.
No, I'm somewhere in Pretoria.
Yeah. Okay, no, thanks. Victoria Maslagi. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for Mahlase. Welcome, and everyone, welcome to the panel. This is gonna be a very short one, as I said. Let me start with you, Brahmatlase. We've seen something that we never saw before, which is like, cause like when the South Africans, we were not there in USA, where that game was delayed with an hour. They said there's a problem with weather. I didn't see anything wrong with that. The rain. We always see our teams playing, in the rain and all that. It's only the thunderstorm that will disturb the game. What's your take on what happened last night before you can go to the analysis?
Yeah, well, excuse me. I was a little bit taken aback also by the delay. We've seen football played, in worse conditions than what was in front of those players there. I guess maybe it's a new thing that we're going to see going forward, where FIFA will start getting a little bit strict on player welfare. As is now, this tournament is really stretching the players in terms of physical conditioning and all those kinds of things. Most of the players here have played a lot of football. For example, the players from Spain and Portugal were part of the national team, and the teams went to the final of the Nations tournament. They didn't have enough rest. They're here. They are playing. After this, there will be a short rest. They'll be going back to their teams. They still to be starting. Look at Sundowns. Went all the way to the final of the Champions League. I think they got 2 weeks rest and they're back. Meaning having traveled all the way to the US to play this tournament, they come back, short rest, and then from there again is the league starting. as they start going in the league to pause and go to AFCON. So it's one thing that I think also we need to maybe spend a bit of time on and to discuss the issue of player welfare. Maybe FIFA are trying to sort of cover themselves in a way that they don't want players playing on conditions that are not 100% suitable, that can expose players to who have been through a rigorous program in their leagues, the national teams. Expose them to sort of injuries and that kind of thing. I feel it's not fair on the players. I know the players who are participating in the tournament are going to make a lot of money from this tournament, but at the same time, you have to find the right balances for players making money while at the same time they are well looked after. If you really look into the bigger picture of this, I'm a bit worried about the Euro Championships that are coming and also AFCON that is coming. We may see tired players in those major tournaments because of they have not rested enough. So I really, get back to your question. I was taking a very quiet decision, but I mean, when we really look into issues of player welfare and that kind of thing, maybe in hindsight, it may have been a good decision to wait a little bit before they get into the picture.
And your overall performance for Mamelodi Sundowns, like what impressed you the most, since it was the first time they go and play in such a we know that they went in 2016 they went to Japan, but this is a different setup. Your overall performance for Mamelodi Sundowns?
Yeah, I guess it's always very difficult to find real faults in a team that has won. I know there's no such thing as a perfect performance. There will be issues where they should have been better, but I think organizationally they were good. The coach made a few changes here and there. It was just nice to see Kukuda playing. It was also nice to see Mshishi starting. I think with the Mshishi issue, the coach was probably correct in his decision for not having played him in the Champions League final. I think he will live to rule that mistake that he made. He should have. I think we've discussed it here on the show that there was a moment in the second half at Loftus in that final where we cried out for Mshishi to come and put this under pressure. Probably if he came on and they were more in control of the last phase of that match, maybe they could have not considered the goal. We don't know. Also, I felt there were moments in the final in Cairo where he should have came on and maybe tried to influence the match. But I mean, those opportunities were there, and I think he played very well. I mean, obviously, we have to understand that Mshishi at this age and coming back from the injury that he's coming from, he's not. I mean, he's never really going to be able to start and finish matches. They have to find a way as to how to use him. But there's nothing that takes away from the fact that he commands a lot of respect from his players. And when he's on song, as Coach Peter Musman used to say, when Mshishi dances Sundowns click, there's some stage which we are going to start seeing the sort of the decline of one's great footballer. But for now, on occasions, I think you should still tap into his well of knowledge, into his experience, into his brilliance to try and do stuff. I felt he played very well. As a group, I think they played very well. I was very, very impressed with Marina Sundowns. Have a player there who really has done very well for them. The guys scores goals. I was also impressed with Mutiba. The one thing that you don't get to see much about Mutiba is that the way he presses teams, and he adds a lot of him. And if he continues to play the way he did on the minutes that he got, it can also be something that maybe Coach Bruce may be looking in his direction. Going to AFCON and don't forget the African next year. So as a team, I think they played well, but there's bigger games that are coming. against Dortmund on Saturday, and then against Fluminense
Yeah.
next week. If you saw that match between Dortmund and Fluminense, you could see that it was a highly not quite easy, not quite easy on the eye. But if you look closely into the match, it was more of a chess game. Two quality sides of players going at each other, and Sundowns will really have to step up if they are complete those teams and maybe try and get out of the group. But 3 points now, 4 points may be enough to get out of the group. So I think just try and to see if you can get a point out of
Dortmund, yeah.
They will obviously eliminate each other somehow going forward. But yeah, I think they played well, if you look at the way they play now, the fear may just be how are they going to be stopped when the league's resumes next season.
Perfect. Thank you so much for Matase. Tibos, a lot of people, they didn't give Mamelodi Sundowns a chance, when they thought, when they saw Bayern Munich, winning 10-0, they thought Sundowns gonna get maybe 20 or 15, whatever. The win, Sundowns, how important was it, that win, going to the next game?
It's a major confidence booster for the players themselves, the technical team, the fans, of course. Because what you are saying is correct. No one gave them a chance, But and I think the coach also, by playing Shishi, I think he was not actually rectifying. Maybe in his mind he was just saying, let me see. It was I don't think the coach understands the style of play Yamshishi.
Yeah.
So I think for him it was like, let's see what will happen. And it worked for the team because they actually scored about 3 goals, which 2 were
VAR.
were not disallowed for obvious reasons, and then they came out with 1. But the main fact, of course, is, if we are patriotic, we would say they won the game. But if you throw a little bit of banter, we will say, no, but what Korea, nobody is going to give phone little gului. No, it's a little bit of an uppercut, But it was a confidence booster for the team. It was a game changer, I mean, the first game where Sundowns is going to the Club World Cup, they win it. Doesn't matter how they won it, and it's pride for me. If anything, if it was Pirates, I would have been happy. Even if it was Chiefs, it puts us on the map, because now when people look at them, they're gonna look at them differently. And I think the game on Saturday is gonna be very, very crucial for them to make sure that they step up to the. I mean, they're playing a very good team, but this is a game that is gonna show us the strength and the intelligence and the character of the Sundowns technical team and the players. But to just summarize your question is, in fact, your answer is to say that yes, they've given pride, to South Africa, because hey, everybody is happy. Even I saw in other groups, Kaizer Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Le mesa di chance yo rona batho ba Chiefs se le support Masandawana from Ning,
Yeah.
But it gave South. It was like a Bafana playing, because now we are saying, okay, these guys are representing our country, and Africa as a whole.
Yeah.
Where we saw Al Ali also doing a great job. I mean, Al Ali, now for me, they should have won that game easily. They should have won that game about 3-4-0, if I'm not mistaken. Sundowns also could have won that game easily 4-0, if we had luck on our side and no VAR. But they gave it a run and we won. And it was, not, in fact, let me say, but I'm taking that glory. Sundowns.
We won. South African. Why South African?
I started over that Masandawana we need. I want to take the glory. So I think yes, it's a confidence booster, and then now I'm sure even the preparation now with the coach, they're watching the game that what Borussia Dortmund they played the first game,
Yeah.
and that game they did not play very well. If you watched it, I don't think those guys were on their best footing. So Sundowns has to be careful on Saturday. They have to up their game. The coach has to put in a lineup that at least first half they have to score a goal or two, or at least defend. And then the second half, make sure that we come out there with the win. Oh, sorry, Sundowns come out there with the win, so that at least the last game is not as heavy as your normal if they had lost, because if they can lose on Saturday, it's going to be a big challenge, because the other team that's in the group A, that team is good. It's a very good team. So I just wish them with Saturday they're busy preparing properly, so that on Saturday they do something. Even if they can give us a draw, it's okay. And the last game they fight at least. But also, but I think Saturday they must win. Then the last game, at least if they draw, then they go to the last 16.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Thabo. I mean, you don't have to be ashamed, man. You must say we. I mean, Mamelodi Sundowns is a South African team. The South African team is our team. We like it or not. Yeah, as much as like we wanna throw band and all that, but they are, as much as they are representing themselves there, but then they are a South African team. Unless if you come from somewhere else, if you're not a South African, maybe you can, say it's not our team and all that. But yeah, thank you so much, Thibo. I think it's a Nami. I think it's a very important win that one a booster. Even though I would have loved them to win with more goals and all that. So that when there's a tie in terms of my points, and then they don't have to to use their calculators and all that. And on the note of my calculator, Glenn, Rowan Williams, we have seen him. He kept a clean sheet on this game. How important was it for him to not to concede a goal?
Actually, to answer that, it was a motivation not to concede in the first game of the FIFA Club World Cup. It was not an easy game. It was a difficult game, but I think Sundowns have won that game. And then I saw there was a new rules of I'm not sure about the seconds. They are saying 8 seconds or 80 seconds that the keeper should not hold the ball. And I think William hold it and they make it a corner. I don't know if you saw that. I just saw, just saw it going up and down, and I was like, oh. I was so shocked even me to see that. But it was an important win for us. First booster and energy. Now we're going to face Dortmund. If we can beat Dortmund, then we are in last 16. So we'll see what's going to happen in last 16. So what we need to do is to focus on the upcoming game. But I think we played well, but we should have maybe at least scored 3 or 2 goals, so that it will boost us in terms of the goal difference. Because of the way I was watching the game of Dortmund, how they were playing, it was pound to pound on both sides. So I'm little worried or Dortmund can beat the team that we are playing with, the 3-0 or 4-0. So we just need to do our job and beat Dortmund. That's what we need to do. And good luck to Mamelodi Sundowns. Congratulations to them. They did well. And Ronald Williams at the back. And then I think even Kubido at the back, he did well. I think the coach, by swapping Kubido and putting Defend Lunga, not Obrundiwa, did well. I saw a nice tackle that Defend Lunga made in the 18 areas. And then Kubido, that tackle, where he tackles all that time, he did a great job. He saved us because of if once they scored, Shulo Ilamola, they go 1-1. So, good luck to Masandawana. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Glenn. a very good one. I mean, most of the time, when goalkeepers concede, uh, sometimes they say it's fine, we have conceded, but we have won and all that. But it definitely, kill them at the end of the group stages. But yeah, I think that was a good thing that he didn't concede. Madume, let me come to you. To me, it was a surprise starting lineup that we've seen Coach Cardoso bring in there. Is there any surprises that you have seen there other than Umshishi?
Yes, my brother. Let me start by saying congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns for this one. We really had to redeem ourselves, especially after the final. And then at the back, I was surprised, but I like the new energy that came with Lunga and Cupido. Although at the beginning, Lunga was struggling a lot at the beginning, but with when time goes on, I saw the confidence from him and he was winning so many balls. I think that surprise of back four, it was very important, especially for us after we've been struggling with corner kicks and conceding so many goals. I think it was very important. And then coming into the game, I think we started so well with some flair. We were playing very well. We were keeping the ball very well. Although we were supposed to score many goals, especially at the early stage of the game. I mean, what do you call the player? A clear-cut chances. What do you call it? Number 9, Harunam.
Renas. Or Sales, yeah, Sales, yeah.
Clear chances. And on games like this, you're not going to get so many chances. I was worried about that one. But at least Reyners came for us to risk us. He scored a trick. Everyone saw he scored a trick, although one of the two goals were ruled offside and handball. But we had to do something about this game. And I'm very happy with the result, especially after we've been struggling with so many important games.
No, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah,
And then
yeah. Continue.
we scored a goal around 30 minutes, but we should have doubled with that one of Mupena. Free kick, what a free kick. He tried to score that one, but it was not meant to be.
The goalkeeper, yeah, he saved it. Yeah.
3 points is very much important for this one. Especially first victory for African team in the tournament. I mean, Mamelodi Sundowns, who gave them a chance? No one ever gave them a chance. But we are there. We're looking forward for the second one.
Oh, thank you so much. Brahmahlase, I think let's just build up to the next games. This coming Saturday, as you said, and also next week Wednesday. How should Mamelodi Sundowns approach their next game tactically? Looking at how they started their game, and also looking at how both Dortmund and Flem played on last night.
Yeah, I think I'll be interested to see what is the coach is going to do with Masandawana. Does he start with him again, or what does he do? The one thing that surprises me with this Sundowns coach is the issue of Peter Shalvile. I really don't know what's happening with Peter Shalvile, or what's happening with him or with this situation behind the scenes, because he's not getting enough opportunities. And I've also observed something from like the content that they release at the club.
Yeah.
In the past, you would usually see Peter, the lively guy behind the scenes and joking around with guys, but currently you can see his body language is not right. And you can sort of just summarize, to say that maybe it's the unhappiness of a player who's not playing, but I feel there must be something bigger. I really don't see Peter staying at Sundowns for next season. And that will also be made worse by the fact that there are serious stories coming out of North Africa that Sundowns are talking to Fiston Mile to come to the club. So if Fiston is coming, if they ultimately sign him, then you will have Fiston, you will have Mutiba, you will have Sales, you will have Ikram Reynas. I just doubt if he will be playing. I will still say that he should be getting more minutes, or actually he should be starting ahead of Sales. I know Sales got opportunities and he grabbed those opportunities by scoring a couple crucial goals, especially in the league. But you can see that he struggled a little bit in the Champions League. So is it good enough for a big club like Sundowns to go? I mean, this guy is the record signing for Sundowns. He has cost them a lot of money. And we have always been told that when Sundowns buy players are buying players for the Champions League. But he's not doing it in the Champions League, which is what he should be doing. I can sit here and sort of say, I foresee a situation where maybe someone like Elemo Mutiba can actually be an ace up the sleeve in the Champions League. Just because of the type of football that he plays, the type of striker that he is, and also the little bit of experience he has gained on the continent with Bafana Bafana. Ikram Reynas has showed that he can play at that level. Fiston Maele, if indeed it's true that he's coming, we know what the man did this just past season. He was the little goal scorer in the Champions League. So that's another issue that I really don't understand what's happening behind the scenes. There's also talk of Pasadine. In fact, we were told that they tried very hard to get him so that he can be registered for this tournament. I think the deal didn't go through or didn't go over the line or whatever happened behind the scenes, I don't know. Or they didn't find each other with Stellenbosch. Now again, if Sundowns are going to sign a Pasadine, we have got Lunga, we have got Aubrey, we have got Terence Mashego. There's this other one. Is it Mdunyal or Iwani or Mdunyal, the left back? We'll have 4 so in one position. That will be a big problem. And also, for Bafana can be a bit tricky because if, say, Divine Lunga is the preferred choice, and then Mashego and Pasadine and Aubrey are not playing, that's a headache for the coach. So those are the things. And I mean, obviously, the way I'm trying to answer the question in a broad way for the next matches. Those are the things that are there at Sundowns right now. Obviously, these must sort of be some sort of planning for next season. I don't think they will go big into the transfer market. The players that are playing now is pretty much the players that have been there even last season, and they'll continue with these players. Pointedly for the next match, I think he will keep things the same. But in the back of the mind, maybe there may be that temptation to say, hey, let's try and give as many players a chance as possible. But it's a bit tricky because chemistry and consistency in a tournament is important because they are playing a tournament. These are not friendlies. So you don't want to tamper with a team that has just won because you want to give other guys a chance. In a friendly, it's understandable. Everybody must play, but he will once again go with the strongest possible squad. I think maybe just to wrap up, my main thing will be the Tamba issue. I don't know if we'll start with him or maybe bring him in the second half. I still feel that in this Sundowns team, in terms of balance and adding a little bit more, I mean, obviously not discrediting the creativity of Mshishi, but if you're looking into the future, I think Jaden Aram should be the main man of this side. I remember when Rivaldo Gauthier came to the club, they called him the system, because stuff revolved around him. And I think going forward, with Debza and Allende sort of sitting, Jaden and Lucas Ribeiro can be sort of that it can offer a creative spark to the side, and you have somebody like Mshishi coming from the bench, and Patrick Morris coming from the bench. You still have Mkulise, so they've got quite a lot of attacking powers coming from there. Another back, I mean, Mtobimbala is back now. I don't know how much the coach likes him. He's somebody who can come back and really add a lot of value there. And also, Mtobimbala is a kind of guy who I call him risk versus reward. He's got a mistake in him, but if he doesn't make mistakes, he can really add a lot of value. And also, he has mastered this thing of playing from the back with Grant and Ronza and Kuliso. So he knows the system very well. On the attack, they can be very destructive. So I'm expecting more of the same from the Sundowns team. I think on the strength of Kubiru having played so well, Grant having played so well, Odao and Lunga. Lunga for me, I think last season was possibly the most improved player at Sundowns last season, probably in the league. Looking at back where he was coming from, being in and out of the team and loans and all the stuff, he came and the coach showed him some love and then he responded. So yeah, I think the only area maybe where I can feel they may want to tighten things up a little bit will be in the midfield, because also looking at the way that Dortmund plays, will Mshishi be able to keep up with the tempo of the way Dortmund plays? I just don't know, but I do feel he can work very, very good as an impact player. Whether you are losing or you're winning, you can come in and execute a particular job for that particular time. If I were the coach, I would take out Mshishi and put in Rams there for starting, and then introduce Mshishi in the second half, given the situation of the match. Up front, not that I don't really like Salas, but no, I still feel Peter and Ingram can play together. They can play together, and you just need to find the right balance. Of how you can use them, and maybe Salas and Mutiba coming from the bench as impact players. But that match against Dortmund is going to be very, very important. It's a very strong team, and also pound for pound in terms of quality of players, you can also feel that Dortmund will have better quality players, with respect to the Sundowns guys, but they consistently play at a higher level most of the times, but anything is possible in football. Sundowns can beat them, but it's not going to be easy. With Fluminense brings an almost similar type of football they like to play, which is what Sundowns want to do. You saw Mshishi, with space around, he can be a very, very dangerous player. And with Fluminense, I think they will open up spaces for you to be able to play. But obviously, putting combination passes together, trying to get at you. Sundowns also can try and play the same type of football. We'll have to adjust to our staff a little bit when we play against a European team like Dortmund, because they can be direct if they want to be direct, but also there are players there who are comfortable on the ball. They've got quality, and they can really cause problems if you're not properly switched on. So I'm really looking forward to it. Should be a good game of football. So now the equation is very simple: get a draw there and see what happens. Then you will be in the next round. So yeah, it should be lots of fun.
Thank you so much, Bamahlazi. Stibo, Ngowako, what do you think can be the downfall of Mamelodi Sundowns, in the upcoming games? Because we've seen them, they scoring those 3 goals, Abo Teboho, trying, to score again and all that. We nearly saw, 4 or 5 goals in that game. But then, do you think there might be a downfall for them, and if yes, what might be the downfall for them, going to the next games?
That's an interesting question. It's easy to answer if we are talking about clubs they know in the PSL and that we also know and understand. But now, this team, like I said, this one they played in today, I don't know the team from a puff soap. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, Dortmund, at least we know it. It's a German-based team. We watch it and enjoy their soccer. The other one, what's the other one again? The other team they're playing?
Brazilian.
Fleming, ne? That team is from where? Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I feel, I wish they could have started with the Fleming game and followed up with this Korean game and then last Dortmund. But if the coach, let me put it this way, the coach by now I'm sure he understands his players. Yeah, well, and Sundowns has got a full depth. You can hear Brahmahlati saying to me they've got 4 left backs or 5.
Yeah.
They've got about 3 or 4 right backs. Center backs, they've got about 4 or 5 also there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've got a squad that they can utilize and and produce magic on the day. I think the analysis should be on point on this one because uh, Dortmund is a team that is used to playing in the highest level of any competition in the world. You're talking about the world, you're talking about FIFA. So I think the coach must just, even if he feels he mustn't play Mshish on Saturday, he must not play him, because he must play his style. And I have got a feeling that now he is playing now to the crowd, he's playing now to the pressure to say, play this player, don't play that player, play that player, don't play this player. And I think it's a worrying thing for me. The coach must put his first 11 and give them instructions to say, guys, let's do 1, 2, 3 on this game. Substitute what he feels. Let's remove this person and put this person for his game plan. You understand what I'm saying? And the Peter Shalulile story also, I think it would be, if that guy is not happy there, it would be, for me, it would be a sad day because he has produced and scored for Sundowns so many goals. He's helped Sundowns win because Shalulila, as far as I can see him, is a professional soccer player, he's a professional somebody who understands his own football and loves his football. I just hope that relationship is not tainted as Brahmahlati is suspecting. But they should make sure that on Saturday they come there and they play their best football. You understand? And make sure that they score. Yeah, one. I don't want to see a defensive Sundowns just because they're playing a Dortmund. You understand? I don't want to see a defensive Sundowns just because they're playing a flaming the team from Brazil. No, they must play their football. They're playing Fleming back. They're playing their technical director. So they must just be understand also and read because I know they've got very good analyst team at Sundowns. They must just read and understand who they're playing against and make sure that on the day how can I put it? The game plan is played to the T. But the coach, for me, he must not panic. As if guys, if the coach doesn't like the style of play of Mshishi, who are we? We love Mshishi. We know what he's capable of. We know he's one of the greatest midfielders that South Africa has ever produced. But if he doesn't like Mshishi as a coach, now you want to force him to play a style of play that he doesn't know or doesn't agree with. Now you are making his plans go haywire. You understand? Of course, yes, Tembazwane is a brilliant player. He's one of Tembazwane is a if keep that man. Shigabala, I've also never seen a player that plays like him. But the coach, it's his prerogative to say, no, I want to put this person here, I want to put this person there. Maybe he wants the faster football because Tembazwane at the moment is a little bit slow. Plus, coming with age, he's not as fast as he used to be. Maybe that's the reason. I would not know. But I just want to put a comment to say if they are going after Pasadena, I Sundowns it away. No, no, that would be something else for me. Because I mean, every good player that comes up, you are taking it to Clorkop, which is fine because you've got the money. But I mean, I give other people a chance, man. Give Chiefs a chance. Let Chiefs take Pasadena and whoever else so that they can also build their squad. But on Saturday, I think it will be a very interesting game. I want to watch that with an open heart, and hopefully they win it and go to the second round.
Thanks, Chivos. When it comes to buying the players, twafaka imali zobona. If Chiefs doesn't want to pay, Pirates doesn't want to pay, Sundowns will take every cream, what's in top of the cream or what, crop of the what. They will take everyone because of
Of the crop.
I understand that. So they don't want to pay. So if you have got money, you can't say no. My opponent, I can't dismantle my opposition because of they will say no. Ngiyamosha. Like yours, this is a competition. If Gucci don't want to spend their money on Maele, Sundowns have that money. They can spend that money and it's up to also the players to say, I mean, angifuni ukuya Sundowns because of kugcwele la ngizohlala phansi ngisahlala kwisquad, but Kona, it's a give and take thing. It's something which like maybe the teams must start having that competition as we have seen, with is Kukune right now. They are buying that they keep on buying right now. They want to make sure they are in the same competition as Pirates and Sundowns. But yeah, what can you say?
But can I ask something there?
Yeah.
Is Kukuni not the same as Kaizer Chiefs where they buy Lamarenza? Because all these players that you're talking about, Bo Lindam Tambo, Bo Ntwin, Bo Dash, Bo, and now even recently, that boy, the chef, Bargiman, the one from Mamelodi Sundowns, was Sipombule.
Yeah.
But he was taken to Kukuni because he was no longer wanted at Sundowns because of whatever problems that they came up with. So yes, you can say that. What happened there, again? If you can explain to me, Bramatu, why did he go
he was taken to because the coach believed in him. They took him so that he can have a game time. Because of behavior, that's what happened.
No, Bramatu.
The technical team of
Let's
Sundowns
save that
believed
debate for. No, let's save that debate for another day. Yeah, let's save it for. It's a very interesting debate, but let's save it for another day. I apologize for going off the rails, but yeah.
No problem. but then I want to just give you a 2 second of the comparison. Yes, Kukun and Kaizer Chiefs. Remember, Kukun can take those players. You can't compare them with Chiefs because Chiefs is the so-called big team. They have that money that they can afford to buy those players that they want to buy. With as Kukune taking Bule, taking but whoever that they are taking, that you think maybe it might be a reject. For them, it's a standard for them. They are fine. Where they are right now, they are competing in the top 5, where Kaizer Chiefs are supposed to be there. You understand? Teams like Stellenbosch and Kukune, no one expected them to be there, but then they're just competing, without even having that budget, Abanayo, Chiefs and Pirates, but they are always there. But yeah, as you are saying, it's a topic for another day. Let's just park it for another day. I don't know, Mr. Mashal, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say something about. I mean, I've noticed for the last while in the country, there's been this like sort of on and off debate about salary cap and all those kinds of things. I know it's a thing in Europe, and it's been driven by UEFA to say there must be financial fair play. Teams must be able to pay within their own means and all that kind of stuff. I think it's a good thing for football, but I just don't know how it will work in South Africa. Someone was saying to me that For an example, in South Africa, most of the teams actually survive by selling players to Sundowns.
True.
The club chairman once told me, the league is 10 million. At the beginning of the season, I sell a player to Sundowns for 10 million. I've made my money for winning the league. Obviously, some of these teams don't necessarily use that money properly in terms of trying and finding maybe not like for like players to replace what other players for Sundowns, but or maybe investing that money properly into the development structure so that they can produce more players to come through the youth structures. That's another issue, but I just don't. I know give now lately talk about the financial fair play and all those kinds of. But in our environment and in our ecosystem, it's going to be very, very difficult. I mean, we all know what came out of the problems that Royal AM were faced with earlier on in terms of just proper basic financial management and those kinds of things. So I think it can be good in a system which allows it to work properly. But here in South Africa, or maybe even largely on the African continent, it's something that I don't think it can be able to work. Look at Al Ahly now. Al Ahly have bought big players now. They've spent a lot of money for coach Jose Rivero because they want to try and win the Champions League. Sundowns will continue to buy. Before they went for the Club World Cup, Trophies, they did say that they are going to sign players again for next season because they want to try and win the Champions League. And that's why they're spending so much money. I don't always agree with them, the money and time they are spending on South American footballers, because I think that they can get even better players, especially in that West African region, if they spend enough time scouting in that region. There are a lot of players there. I was at AFCON in Ivory Coast, and I spoke to people there. That region, you've got Mali, you've got Burkina Faso, you've got Niger, you've got Ghana, you've got Nigeria, you've got Senegal, and the smaller countries in that region where time after time they produce players that are ready-made to go to Europe. If you have proper scouting networks in that region who are consistently looking at young talent emerging from there, you can bring them here one season here, sell them to Europe. And I can tell you now, Sundowns, if they were to find a Sales in Burkina Faso, it won't cost 60 million. Better, maybe even the same age or even younger, who will understand continental football.
Yeah.
These South Americans, you can see, I mean, even Allende and Ribeiro, they're struggling in the Champions League. Of course, Ribeiro and Allende are a different class and quality, but we have to be honest. If you go and look at their numbers on the continent, it's not just quite the same as they are dominating in the PSL. So I think the mindset needs to change, not only for Sundowns, but for our clubs. I mean, a team like Paris, I think they can go look for a striker who can come here and score 20 goals a season or chips. The players are there, you just need to go and find. So these big clubs on the continent will continue spending money until such time the CAF comes stronger on this issue of financial fair play. For now, it's not there. People can talk as much as they want to talk about it, but it's something that's not in place on the continent. And the bigger clubs with bigger pockets will continue to spend. I mean, Pyramids are a good example. A club with no reputation whatsoever on the continent went all the way on the Champions League because they spent a bit of money in buying the players. If they didn't spend money, they will never be where they are now. So it's quite a complex thing, but I guess it is what it is.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mamelodi. Glenn, let's.
Sorry. Can I just say something more, just for a few minutes, few seconds, maybe? I want to answer on Mr. Matlatsi. Financial fair play, like in South Africa, it can work, but the problem is that remember that Sundowns, it has good sponsors, and one of the sponsors of them, they sponsors Cristiano Ronaldo, which is Herbalife. It sponsors Cristiano Ronaldo, and it brings a lot of money to Mamelodi Sundowns. So, which means Mamelodi Sundowns, the money that he got from the sponsor, they need to spend that money. For them to spend that money so that they can get that money on SARS. If they hold that money, they have a problem with SARS. So they need to spend that money. So for them to spend that money, where are they going to spend? They have to buy players. And then we'll go and buy players overseas. The amount that they put, you have to pay. You don't have a choice. It's not like they're saying, oh, no, it's fine. If you have 10 rand, no, it's fine. It's fine. You can give us. No, they will tell you, no, we want 50 million. That's where Sundowns pay. And then as for Chiefs, I heard this story. My uncle once told me that problem with Chiefs not to buy players is because of Chiefs is the dominating with fan base. Everyone grows up. Most of people supporting Kaizer Chiefs. They want to play for Kaizer Chiefs. That's why Chiefs is not paying. Most of people, they want to play for Kaizer Chiefs. So they're using that advantage of, no, we can't give you this kind of money. Well, there's someone who want to play for us.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. And look now.
Okay, you can continue. Okay. Yeah, you can continue.
Look now. Look now how much Sundowns they made now. Now we are on 200 and something million. If they beat Dortmund on Saturday, they will have 35.8 million. Yeah, Lord, they've winning the two games, the upcoming two games. If Sundowns won, they will come up around 60 something million. So where are they going to spend that money? They have to buy players. There's circulation of money. They can't keep money.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Ramasase, you can come in.
I think the one thing about Sundowns is that if you really come to think of Sundowns, the club doesn't necessarily have money. It's just that the owners of the club have money. So I think that's the point of departure. But also on the issue of sponsors at Sundowns, Sundowns doesn't really have a sponsor. Ubuntu is the company that is owned by the Motsepe family.
Yes.
The family bankrolls the club. The money that they spend on buying players and all those things is the Motsepe Foundation money. Companies like Huawei and Biogen and these other companies that are associated with Sundowns, they are not necessarily sponsors. They are just suppliers. They give them stuff. I don't think Sundowns make any substantial amount of money from those sponsorships. It's not like Vodacom for Chiefs and Pirates, which gives them a lot of money, or your traditional kind of sponsorship. This Sherry that is just come now just gives them cars. They just give it. So it's a supplier kind of a deal. They just give them cars. They may be giving them money, but they are not going to give them a substantial amount of money. The long and short of the Sundowns issue is that the club is owned by wealthy people who have taken a conscious decision that come hell or high water, they will foot the bill for the club. I mean, the salary bill of Sundowns is quite a substantial amount of money, which a grant alone just won't be enough to cover the cost that the club are supposed to how the club must run. I mean, Sundowns, every cup they win, the players share the money, which means the owners of the club does not necessarily need that money because they are that wealthy. Other clubs, the tradition is that if a club wins the cup or a trophy, the club take half, and then the owners take half, and the players share the other half. So it's just it's just one of those things. I know they are going to make a lot of money now from this club, the Club World Cup. they made a substantial amount of money from reaching the Champions League final. I'm sure that money is not going to Sundowns, it's going to go to the owners. But of course, by extension, they will pump that money back into the club in terms of buying players. It's money which they would have been digging very, very deep in their pocket, but it's there for them to use. So that is just how it is. The way Sundowns is run is different from the way other clubs have been run. I mean, for example, if you look at Sekhukhune, even though the owners of Sekhukhune are not as wealthy as the owners of Sundowns, but they are running that club from their own pocket. They don't have a sponsor, they don't have anything. Even other owners who may not be as wealthy as the Sundowns owners, they run those clubs from their own pockets, even if they don't have sponsors. But most of the other stuff is just supplier arrangements, really. Biogen just gives Sundowns these supplements for the players to drink. They've just got Huawei now for the cell phones. It's more of a technology sponsor. Football business is a little bit technological. And Sherry gives them cars to drive around, and that's pretty much it. So this money they're gonna get there, it will go straight into the Mzimba family. Then they will decide what they do with it. They'll give players a little bit, then they'll take the rest and go buy more players, and then that's it.
Yeah. No, thank you, Pramashatse. I think, as I said, like, this is a topic for another day. You can talk for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge one. But yeah, as you said, those sponsorships for Sundowns, I know, like, they're just giving them those, Red Bulls and whatever. They can give them money, but they can't sustain them for.
It's not. I don't think Red Bull. You can't even call that thing a sponsor. You just give them Red Bulls for the player to drink, and
You see,
I don't think they give them more than 10 million a year or something like that.
Exactly. Thank you, Brahmahlase. Gents, I think let's wrap it up before we go to the score predictions for the upcoming matches. Matume, do you think Mamelodi Sundowns have got a chance, to win this coming game, or maybe they might just go for a draw? At least it's something for them.
No, come on, winning Dortmund idlala team go Brazil. I think we got a chance because we play a similar game like those Brazilian team.
Yeah.
And then Dortmund was very much struggling with the pace and those short passes of that Brazilian team. And we played a similar style, Rona. I think we got a chance. We can get something from that game. What we have to do is to minimize our mistakes. Once we minimize our mistake, we got a chance. We can get a point or 3 points from that game.
Oh, perfect. Glenn, yourself, do you think you have a chance to win that game?
Yeah, I think we do have a chance to win the game. But what I'm worried is that we can score first goal. But the problem with Suns is that once we score, we started to relax and say, no, we wanted to win 1-0. So I don't know what's wrong with us wanting to win 1-0. So I think that's the biggest problem that we're having. And then I'm also the coach, because I know that the coach will bring us Abo Matthew Solore in front. They will never gonna give us goals that we need. But we can beat Dortmund. Dortmund is beatable. I saw how they were playing. You couldn't tell, or that's the Dortmund that were to the final, like a UEFA Champions League final. Last season they were run-up. But now, if you check, it's completely different, and they were struggling, and we're playing the same way as the Brazilian team is playing. So we can beat Dortmund. But my worry is selection of the coach. Our coach doesn't have our technical team. Sometimes they made a wrong choices in terms of selecting and in terms of up as well. I'm worried we can score. Sundowns will score first against Dortmund. But the problem is that on the second half, that's where the problem, that's where my worry is, because of now the coach will want to make sub, and then those sub will cost us. But we can.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Glenn. Thabo, let's wrap it up. What's your last words and also your score prediction?
But I don't understand when Glenn says Matthews won't give them anything. I think that statement is incorrect. That young man is a very good technical player. And when they start creating, because the player didn't score for 2 games. That's what killed Kingston Scatter career. That what is get killed Chivaviro's career, and many other players. When we come up with comments about soccer players that are unfounded and not true. Yes, that young man missed a clear-cut chance in that game, but who does not do that? Your Messis have done that. Your Ronaldos have missed chances. They've missed penalties. You know, the one of the biggest player, Roberto Baggio, missed a penalty in the 1994 World Cup, and they lost that World Cup because of him. But I would like us as fans, gents, not to always bash players in that way. We must be very careful because fans are
They must
are,
also
yeah. Sorry, Bratlen.
no, they must also be serious.
Sorry.
I'm saying they must also players be serious as well. There are
But
some
what?
chances that if we get it, we must just punish team.
But Matthews, why are
Because
you? I don't understand your statement when you say Matthews won't give you anything.
when I'm saying Matthews won't give us anything, let me clarify it. Matthews, he doesn't have a good decision making in terms of the ball. He can give us the run, but the run without a good decision making, it's a problem because Matthews can get one-on-one. Still, he will miss that one-on-one. He can get an opportunity instead of him to shoot. He will want to pass. Where he was supposed to shoot, he will want to pass. Those things are not working for us. So we need players like maybe Abu Gutano Lutago can score. Abu Gutano Lutago can play that position and they can get a goal. Goals are very much important in football. Look, if you watch today's games, look at Temingo Lodge. He got an one-on-one with the keeper, but he didn't score. But if you would have seen it would have been 1-1. Anything can happen on 1-1. Goals are very important. Thank you.
No, okay, but yeah, anyway. Saturday, I think it's gonna be a very tough game, gentlemen. For me, I think Sundowns, if they assert themselves very well and they don't panic and they don't get stage fright, they can edge that club also with a 1-0 or 2-1 win. Yeah, one. I think something would come up in that game on Saturday, whereby, yeah, as I'm saying, but also Peter Shalulile, man. Peter Shalulile. Nalina Pramatlats, I'm worried about that player. I think he's still got 2 years in him for Sundowns, 2 to 3 years. And I'm worried maybe he's going to be offloaded as we're suspecting, but yeah, Reiners is capable. I built now me to see, unfortunately, your opinion, Bratlen, I think it's wrong. I think that boy is just very intelligent player. Nkimthetsa Rapano o slim, mo tsebang bolo, who knows how to move properly, who knows how. I view him as a smaller Lodge. I've watched him how he traps the ball. I've watched him how he passes the ball. I've watched him how he moves inside the 18 area. Yeah, so I think yeah, Saturday they might get a 2-1 or a 1-0 win. If they lose, I just pray they don't lose in a bigger margin. Baskaba fan tote baskaba holisa. Jaga ba rata go godisa bana ba batho ba fa bona go di 4 di 5. But they will come to the party because they've got a point to prove. And this 1-0 that they got from Banna Balabadian Dikoloi, it gives them a good confidence.
Yeah.
And where they are, and knowing Sundowns. Sundowns is a team that cannot lose. You can't lose if you play for Sundowns. The player at 100.
Yeah. No, thank
So
you
good
so much.
luck, by the way. Bratlen Matume Saturday. Hope you win that game.
Thanks.
Thank
We're only left with 2 minutes, ne? We're only left with 2 minutes. Is okay, foot. Tomahlazi, Matume and Glenn, please give me your score predictions. Let me start with Matume.
It's gonna be a tight game. I think we will win 1-0.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All the best, Glenn. Prediction from you?
It can be 1-1 or 2. Sundowns 2, Dortmund 1 or 1-1.
Oh, number 1. Thank you so much. Tomahlazi, we have got 45 seconds for you.
Yeah, actually, I'm not good with these score predictions and stuff, but there's one thing as we were talking, I was looking at the system that they played in their last match. What interests me is that these guys play 3-4-2-1. It's quite a complex system they play, which means they block the midfield. And I mean, you know that in football, if you are overpowered in the midfield, and they've got experienced players like the Stevenson guy, Marcel Sabitzer, who's a full German international, Julian Brandt. If you get overpowered in the midfield, sometimes you can really have problems. So most games like this are won and lost in the midfield. So I hope you know, the Sundowns coach gets his stuff properly to a T, because even though they were not that overly impressive in their match against the Fluminense, the first match, but they're still a strong team that can really cause problems. But Sundowns have been in these situations before, not quite against this quality, but the Sundowns have played in big matches in Champions League, and these guys won't be faced by the occasion. They've been there before, they know. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I don't want to make a score prediction. Hopefully,
I can see.
I can just say hopefully they'll get a positive result. Yeah, I'm very bad with predictions.
No, thank you.
So we'll see. Yeah. But this is a very strong team. They mustn't take them. They mustn't take them lightly. It's a very strong, organized team. That if on the day, they are, you know, they're a top side to play against. And I think the players must cherish the opportunity of putting their wits against them, against this type of players. That's what you know, we dream of when we're a youngster.
Thank you, Brahmashlase. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your presence, and also to the gents. Thank you very much for making sure that, you know, every time when I call you and then you avail yourself. Yeah, thank you very much. And to Masandawana Gabrielu, please go out there and represent the country very well. You know, you've got 3 points in the pocket. Go there and at least collect 4 points out of those 2 games, and we really, you know, support you. We are behind you all the way, and hopefully, you know, we're gonna go through to the second round, to the knockout stages, and we trust in you, we trust in the coach, and just make sure that, you know, you represent us very well. Thank you so much for everyone who have been supporting us, who have been supporting the channel. If you haven't subscribed, just click that subscribe button and help us reach 20,000 subscribers. Also visit our website www.2010sharpi.com. Thank you so much. Eitada. Kabuyelu. For your soccer updates and breaking news, please visit www.2010sharpi.com.